Alright guys, today we're taking a look at the HAPPRUN F7 Pro video projector. That's this guy right here. I'm going to show you what it comes with, how to set it up. Most importantly, I'm going to show you some demo footage as well. So everything that you need does come in the box, including this remote control and even an HDMI cable. Now, you don't have to use a projector screen with this. That's going to be optional. So today I'm going to actually show you just how it looks right against my bedroom wall here. I'm going to show you that the wall is definitely good enough. Alright, so if you are new to video projectors like this one, these are basically smart TVs without the screen. By connecting to Wi-Fi, you'll be able to stream all the major apps like Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, Hulu, Peacock, and so on and so forth. To set things up, you essentially just need to be able to have this on the opposite side of whatever wall or screen that you're using. So for example, today I'm going to put it on a wall shelf, but you can use it with a ceiling mount if you have one of those set up, and you can even just use a camera tripod because you can screw the tripod right into the bottom there, and that makes this nice and portable because then you can just take that tripod outside, for example, if you have a screen set up there. Once you do have it in place, you also have the option to use this adjustment knob to really fine-tune things as far as the angling. Now, as far as the focus and the auto correction, you can always manually change that. That's what this remote is for. There's going to be a button right there up and down to manually auto focus it if you'd like. This remote's also going to be very convenient, just like any other remote, to access settings, change volume, and then quick shortcuts to the major platforms down there. Alright, so as you may expect, this is going to work best at night with the room at its darkest, but even in the daytime, you can just draw the shades, try to darken up the room a bit, and you can see that it definitely works decent enough for you to be able to use this during the day. So for example, here's some footage of the switch. By the way, I was able to use that switch using the external connections at the back here. So you're going to be able to hook up your gaming systems, for example, using that HDMI output there. You can view files, so you can even insert a USB drive into that USB port, and then you'll see a headphone jack. Now, you don't need to use a headphone because it does have speakers on both sides. You also have the option to use Bluetooth to connect speakers. Alright guys, so that's the basics of the physical features, and now I'm going to turn this thing on and show you how the onboard apps work and show you some demo footage. Alright guys, so I did just first want to show you exactly what the video looks like. Now again, this is not without a projection screen. This is just actually right up against my bedroom wall. And as you can see, it's nice and colorful and crisp. This is just on the standard setting as well, so you can always tweak it to increase the contrast, increase the brightness. You can tweak it just the way you like, but this is just straight out of the box, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so here we are on the home page, and if you didn't know, this is a Google TV sponsored projector. So that's what the home page is going to be based off of. So as you can see here, there's going to be a For You section, and that's just going to be the apps that you first download when you first set it up. It's going to ask you what you want to be downloaded. So these are all the apps that I chose, but you can always add more all the way to the right. It's just like the Google Play Store. Of course, you have your recommendeds up top there, and then other recommended items and must-see things all below that. With this being Google TV, you've got access straight to the live TV here, so that's really convenient because you don't see a whole lot of that with other projection screens. And then again, here's your apps. Same idea as the For You page with the apps that you've downloaded down here. Here on this page, you can search by categories, other recommended down here, but also there is this search bar that you can use to search for stuff. And then finally, there's the library section. This is where you get your purchases, your rentals, and anything that you may have favorited or watch listed. And then there's just a more generic search option at the top right there, so you can search for anything that you'd like and it'll pop up down here, or you can search by genre. So as far as the settings, you can put on a screensaver if you'd like. You can change the input, so this is where you would change it to HDMI, USB, and whatnot. And then here's the picture settings, so let's take a quick look at that. Alright, so you do have the choice of standard, vivid, movie, game, and then your custom settings down here. And clicking into that, you can change the contrast, saturation, sharpness, the color temperature, or the gamma. And then same idea with the sound. There's presets that you can choose from here as well. You can turn on surround sound, and then you can even go into expert settings and adjust these settings here. This is where you would set up your Wi-Fi network, and then here's where you would set up your Bluetooth activities. You just click on that plus sign. And there's also an accessibility option here where you can access various things that'll make it easier for you to use the system. Now, if you look at the top right, you actually have an option to go into the full settings. So if you click into all settings, this is where you can change things like focus, where you can autofocus or manually focus. And so just clicking into autofocus, it will autofocus it right then and there. But if you click into manual, you can go ahead and just press up and down to focus it yourself. But you can actually access this anywhere just by using your remote control. Again, like mentioned before, you can click on the plus and minus sign for the autofocus option, and you can manually focus that way. If you click into advanced, that's where you can have the option to autofocus at startup, and you can also have it autofocus if the projector got moved. If you click into image correction, that's basically the Keystone option, so you can do an automatic Keystone correction right then and there. If you click into manual, this is where you can actually move the four corners and basically be able to resize the entire thing yourself. All right, this is also where you're going to be able to access the zoom function. So if you click on zoom, I'm already at the full size, so I'll just go ahead and zoom it out. And you can actually just go ahead and reposition this entire thing. So this is one cool thing that you don't see on a whole lot of projectors. Usually you just have to move the four corners to move the entire screen. But here you can reposition the entire screen all at once. So that's really cool. And then same idea in the advanced settings, you can turn on and off the auto keystone at startup and auto keystoning if there's been movement. You can turn on Bluetooth speaker mode down here, and then let's take a look into advanced settings. This is basically where you can flip up and down the screen. So based on how you have it set up, whether it's hanging from the ceiling or just upside down in general, this is where you can flip the screen over so that it shows it the right way. And then at the bottom half of these settings, you can adjust the privacy settings, the apps that you want displayed. And then you also have this system option where you can adjust date and time, language, storage, the screensaver, and all of that. You can screencast using this option right here. And then again, just your access to the accessibility options here and here, where you can pair accessories such as new remotes and all that. All right, guys, and last but not least, I just wanted to show you what it's like to connect HDMI devices. Now, we already saw the Nintendo Switch hooked up, but another example would be if you wanted to use this as an external monitor, you can go ahead and go into inputs, click on HDMI. I've got my laptop set up, and as you can see here, I'm using the projector as a second screen. So I can move my calculator over, for example, and I have a nice big wall to use for my laptop. All right, guys, so I hope that helps you decide whether this is going to be right for you today. But as you saw, very good quality as far as the video, very simple and easy to use. So definitely check this out if you're looking for a home video projector.